hope you guys are having an amazing day today. Hello and welcome to Glomis. It's been a bit of a train wreck. We'll talk about that later. Hi, welcome. Today, I wanted to do a video that I love doing. Normally in the past, I used to do best and worst makeup videos, and I would just talk about like the best products, and I would talk about the worst ones. Now it's back when I was way more into makeup than I am now. I really haven't bought new makeup in like this past year especially. I feel like I've bought a little bit here and there, and I do have some makeup items here, but I've gotten way less into makeup recently, and I've been much more into just like lifestyle stuff and home decor and clothing and things like that. Like I've just been spending my money on different things. I feel like it's like an evolution of doing so. But I love at the end of the year looking back at sort of what we bought that we loved, what we bought that we hated. I feel like doing a little bit of an inventory can not only sometimes help you make better financial decisions in the new year, but also it's fun to roast things. And also recommend amazing things that I loved this year that I bought. So today we are going to go through the best things that I bought this year and also the worst things that I bought this year. So if you are down for the ride, let's do it. Hi friends, Editing Me here, and today's video is sponsored by Ouai. You guys know I absolutely love Ouai. I sincerely accredit them and using their products for the past couple of years to drastically improving my hair and also making doing my hair actually a lot of fun. It feels like a very luxurious experience every time I use their products. Like if you've been watching for a while, you know I used to wear my hair in like a messy bun all the time because I just didn't know what to do with it or how to style it or the right products to make it look good. And ever since introducing Ouai products into my hair care routine, I feel like that's gotten significantly better. Today I wanted to talk about a couple of products that I've been using specifically during the colder months. I feel like my scalp gets very dry and sort of patchy during these cold months. Basically my whole body feels dry, but my hair especially and my scalp start getting really dry and I start getting more of that sort of dandruff. Some things that have really helped with that are number one, the Ouai Scalp Scrub. This is their St. Bart's version. I love this one because it smells like a literal resort. Like it feels so good and so luxurious on your head and scalp. You can also use it on the rest of your body, but I primarily focus it sort of like right here where my hairline is and all around up in here, just to avoid any of that flakiness and dryness that can come from this time of year. I also pair this with the new Ouai Scalp Serum. I love this stuff, but I will warn, I have thinner hair. The first couple of times I used this, I feel like I used way too much. If you have thinner hair, kind of like I do, and you can tend to get a little bit greasy up in here, it's much better to just use literally a drop or two maximum and really rub it in and diffuse it into your scalp. So that way you're not getting any sort of greasiness up in this area. But it really pairs so nicely with the scalp scrub. I feel like using both of these products makes my scalp feel super hydrated and I no longer deal with that dryness that comes along in the winter time. The final product I want to talk about, I know I talk about this all the time, but it's because I cannot rave highly enough about the Ouai leave-in conditioner. This pretty much right here is like my winter hair care routine. I also use their finishing cream, shout out to that, but these three products have been integral in making my hair feel soft, shiny, not tangly or snarly in the slightest. I've said it before and I'll say it again, this is literally gold in a spray bottle. It's made my hair so much softer, so much shinier, and so much less tangly throughout the day. Ouai has a ton of amazing products that you can not only use for yourself, but also it's holiday season, gifting time, and you can check out all of their products at theouai.com. That is theouai.com. And if you want, you can use code SMOKY and get 15% off your entire order. Thank you so much to Ouai for sponsoring this video and saving my hair care routine, and let's jump into the video. A lot of this stuff I like can't physically show you because it's big or like in my house, so I will be having pictures up here, but the very first thing that I want to talk about I absolutely can show you, and that is the Rare Beauty mascara. Mine is crusty. It's gross. I am getting a new one, don't worry. I've had this one for about 3 months now. It's literally at the end of its life. Sorry if there's a shift in lighting, my memory card died. The Rare Beauty mascara is fucking incredible. I'm sorry, it's so good. Easily the best mascara I have quite literally ever used. It is the only one I use. It is my favorite one and it works so well. I have kind of like deeper set, smaller eyes, and I also have large cheeks. So a lot of times when I blink a lot, especially, I always end up having raccoon eyes after the end of a long day. My mascara is constantly transferring to my lower eyes. I just always look like a mess normally when I wear mascara, especially if I'm wearing it for a really long period of time. This is like the only mascara I have found that does not transfer throughout the day or at night. And not only that, but this is one of the only mascaras I can successfully use on my lower lashes. I feel like my lower lashes, again, same problem, they transfer a ton. But with this formula, something about it, it gets on my eyelashes and it just literally stays there. It's also a beautiful formula in general, just application wise. The wand is honestly nothing too special. It's just like a thick boy. It's just like a thick wand, and it's not anything crazy. There's no crazy shapes. There's nothing like super unique about it. What's really unique to me about this product is the formula. The formula on this is just so good. The only thing I will say is that it's really important to scrape this off before you put it on. You don't want to really heavily layer this. It's definitely something you want to use a little sparingly, because I've noticed that if you don't really wipe this, hence why the bottle looks like this, if you don't wipe it down and you don't really get a product off before you put it on, it can tend to get very clumpy on your lashes. If you're doing too much, you really need to do just one light coat. I never go back in for a second coat of mascara with this stuff. Makes my lashes look super long, makes them nice and separated, just like overall an absolutely gorgeous formula, and easily my favorite makeup product that I tried this year. I've used this every single day that I put on makeup. Like, it is my tried and true, the only thing that really works for me. Just a perfect mascara. Okay, the next thing that I want to talk about, this one's a little bit, what's the word? It's like, I think as I've gotten older, my priorities in life have just drastically shifted. I used to care so much more about like makeup and products like that. And now in the last year, actually, I think it's two things. I think it's getting older, and I think that it's buying a house. I care so much more about home decor than I ever have in my entire life. I'm literally like obsessed with making my house feel as cozy and nice as possible. And the room that I especially do that in is my bedroom. So a lot of you know, I'm recently single. So for the first time in my adult life, I have had my own bedroom that I get to decorate myself with no one else's input. The only other time I've had that was quite literally at my parents' house when I lived with them. So this, and obviously my tastes have changed. So a big thing I wanted to do with my bedroom was really make it a very safe, comfortable, calming place. Like, my bedroom is very important to me. It's like my little oasis in my house. It's just, I needed it to be comfortable, not only for me, but also I have dogs. Like, they sleep with me, so I guess technically it's their room too. But anyway, long story short, I really was obsessed for the year with making sure that my bedroom was a really safe and comfortable place. And I invested a lot into my bedroom as a result to give it the right look and feel that I wanted while also being very comfortable. The most adult thing I feel I did this year, not even adult, but just like the most like thing 20-year-old me would have been shocked that we did, is buy a very expensive comforter. I do not regret it for a second. Buying nice, good quality bedding is like the best thing I have ever done for myself. My particular comforter is from West Elm. I will put a picture of it right here. Comes in a bunch of different colors, and also is like the softest, nicest, best comforter I have ever had in my life. I have never felt more like I'm in a hotel room every time I get in my bed. That, you know those hotel comforters, like the super down, really soft ones? That's what this feels like. Every night when I get into bed, it's like being at a hotel and having hotel bedding. It is quite literally the best thing I've ever done for myself. I also buy like good sheets and stuff like that and good pillowcases. I do that whole thing too, but I really want to talk about the comforter because I cannot stress enough how amazing this comforter is. It was stupidly expensive, like dumb. I don't regret it for a second. I really think that my cost analysis on this comforter versus how much I use it and love it and how much it costs, it tracks for me. Like, it makes sense to me, the money that I spent on this. Honestly, I would do it again. My dog ripped a hole in it the other day, and I was like, if they destroy this comforter, I'm gonna buy another one. Like, I love it so much. Not only do I love how soft and fluffy it is, I also love the look of it in my bedroom. I feel like it just gives such a modern, sleek look that is so comforting and inviting. And honestly, for me, I am not the best at interior design. Like, I don't know, I'm not great at it. I try my best, but I'm not great at it. But for me, I sometimes feel like around me, I like more maximalist style. So I like clutter and I like, you know, pictures everywhere. And in my bedroom, I wanted to do the exact opposite of what I always tend to do, which is over clutter, and instead really simplify the whole space. So this comforter for me is a very simple, it's easy, it blends in, but it still gives the room that like elevated look. And on top of that, it's the comfiest thing that I have ever used and laid in, and I fucking love it. I have zero regrets about that comforter. Absolutely none. Okay, the next thing I want to talk about, this one I think I'm gonna be brief. I feel like this is gonna sound sponsored. I pinky promise you right now, it's not. The Calm app is not paying me to talk about them. I feel like I've seen so much sponsored content around them. I just think this is like the best $60 a year that I spend. The Calm app is like, me and my mom actually had a whole conversation about this app like a few days ago, and I'm not kidding. We sounded like we were in a commercial the way we were talking about it, but it's just how we both feel. I struggle heavily with anxiety and insomnia, shocking absolutely no one. And I swear using the Calm app is one of the very few ways that I can actually fall asleep at night. They have like bedtime stories that you can listen to. They have, which you'd think is like a little lame. They're so good. They're like weirdly the most calming thing, and they're read by famous people. They have like podcast style things you can listen to. Like there's one that I listened to where this woman is like hiking a trail and she just like talks about her hike and you hear her walking, the crunching of her feet. It's wonderful. It's so relaxing. I specifically use the Calm app for the rain sounds and the noise machines that you can get. I know that you can also use YouTube for those things. So if you don't want to pay for the Calm app, I also use like YouTube sometimes, and I'll YouTube like 12-hour rain in the jungle sounds, and I listen to that. The Calm app definitely has more specified ones, and in my opinion, just like better sounds in general. But I literally use this app every single night to fall asleep. I cannot fall asleep without listening to some type of white noise or some type of background, and the stories and the meditations they have on there are just incredible. I also will say probably occasionally I'll listen to one of the guided meditations during the day, because they do have ones that you can listen to for like 10-minute mindfulness break at work or things like that. I feel like I wish I could be like, oh, I listen to those all the time too and I practice mindfulness, but like I'm not doing great with that right now, but I try. Like I do think that they have those options as well. So it's not just for sleep. I personally only use it for sleep. That's literally the best subscription service that I use, without a doubt. Like not even a question. I love this app. It's so good. Okay, the next thing I want to talk about, for those of you that don't know, I moved into a house last year that has a pool, and this summer was my very first summer ever having a pool. I will say, boy, is it a lot of work. I was at the pool store 3 times a week this summer because I simply didn't know what the fuck I was doing. But the one thing I did know how to do was buy pool floaties. And I will say, the best thing I bought for my pool this year, and just in general, like I wish I had had these before, because even just going to the beach, these things are amazing, is Fun Boy pool floaties. All of my friends can also attest that these pool floaties are next level. I have the Barbie cart one. I have a bunch of their very large, extra large chase loungers. I have a few of their tube ones. I think I got their cabana at one point. This summer was wild. I really went bananas with pool floaties because I just loved having the options for people to like lay out in the pool. And I was hosting pool parties all the time, so it was just nice to like have everybody be comfortable in their own floaties. The thing I love about these pool floaties is, number one, I'm a bigger gal. I'm plus size. Some pool floaties do not cater to plus size people. They like collapse in on you or like get super weird. Their extra large loungers, I will put a picture of them right here, are so good. You can easily fit 2 people on them, number one. And number 2, they don't like deflate or get weird if you're a bigger person. They keep you super buoyant no matter how big you are. Like they are wonderfully made pool floaties, and also for what you're getting, the quality of what you're getting, I don't think the price is that unreasonable. We deflated all of them and like stored them for the winter, obviously, but I'm gonna be able to use those for at least another 3 or 4 summers. I can't imagine them breaking or getting bad. Literally all of them have lasted throughout the entire summer, way more than like the ones that I got at Target for like $10. A lot of those broke pretty quickly. These ones all lasted a super long time. They have really fun prints, really fun colors, and also just really fun ones in general. I think if you have a pool, or if you like going to beaches, if you live around there, or just like you need pool floaties for a reason, these pool floaties are freaking incredible. I saw them because of Instagram ads, and I'm very skeptical of Instagram ads because I've just been burned in the past. But then I saw a few influencers use them, and I think they did promotion for them or something. And I was like, you know, I'm just gonna try it. I have a pool. This looks comfy. If it sucks, whatever. I bought one. It came, I blew it up and used it, bought like 10 more. These floaties are, not 10 actually, but bought a lot more. Like these floaties are incredible. They're so good. And if you have a lot of pool parties or you have a pool in general, these are incredible. I had to talk about these because even like all of my friends are obsessed with the Fun Boys. Those are the only ones that we use. We all love them. They are so good. And also, because they're so aesthetically pleasing, you can take a lot of very cute Instagram photos with them, which is fun. Fun boy. Get it? There's 2 things left that I would like to talk about. The first thing, this is, again, I feel like these videos, I just show how fucking random I am. Like, I feel like this is just the most random thing. It's been around for decades. This isn't like a hot new product. I just bought one of these this year, and I think everyone else should too, and that's a karaoke machine. I bought a karaoke machine because this is literally just like a $40 one online. I bought a karaoke machine. It got delivered. I bought it because I was having a birthday party. I was turning 27 in February. So I like was having this birthday party and I was like, I want to do karaoke, but obviously we're not going to go out because it was COVID, especially at the time. So I was like, let's bring the karaoke to us. So I bought this karaoke machine and I forced all of my friends to sing it. Since buying that machine, it is easily the most used thing in my home when I have guests over. People either fucking hate it, like they don't want to be a part of it, or they love it, and the majority of people do love it. Karaoke is just so much fun, especially if you're around your friends and you're not like around other people. I feel like as long as you have a couple people who are willing to go first, that are willing to sound bad, and like not care, it's always a really good time. People open up and will sing more. I literally airplay, like my karaoke machine I bought doesn't have a screen or anything. I have it in my living room and I airplay like YouTube karaoke videos onto my television, and then just everybody sings karaoke with the microphones along with it. It's easily the best thing I bought this year. It's just such endless fun. I love having people over and I love having get-togethers with all of my friends. I love when people come to my house. It's hosting parties is like my favorite thing to do, especially after 2 years of seeing no one during the pandemic. I am now like obsessed with having people over, and karaoke machines are absolutely the best way to have a grand time in my home. I do get banned from singing Taylor Swift songs though. Everyone's really sick of me. My go-to karaoke song, All Star by Smash Mouth. It hits every time. It's a 10 out of 10 every time. The final thing that I bought this year that was my favorite thing that I bought is a Dyson fan. Hear me out. These fans are expensive. They're a lot of money. For me, again, I feel so like old when I talk about this stuff now. I feel like my priorities have just drastically shifted in the last year of like what I find value in, because I never would have thought I would find value in a fan, but boy do I. I have to sleep with a fan at night. I get ridiculously hot in my sleep. It doesn't matter what time of year it is, like right now it's winter, doesn't matter. I'm sleeping with a fan and I'll have blankets on, and in the summer a fan is like an absolute must. I just get very warm in my sleep and a fan helps cool me down. But a lot of fans that I've used before, especially like box fans or more traditional fans, constant blowing in your face gives me really bad sinus problems. It's like a really hard thing to decide. It's like, do I want to wake up sweating, or do I want to wake up and have a headache because there's been cold air blowing in my face all night? The Dyson fan is the only fan that I have found that actually can like blow air, but you don't, it's the weirdest fucking concept. You don't like really feel the air being blown at you. I don't understand. I get like the whole design. The design is really cool too. But like I don't really understand the aerodynamics of how that shape makes it so you don't feel cold air on your face, but you're still feeling cool. I don't get it. It is easily the best fan I've ever bought. Like, it works so well at keeping me cool throughout the night. There's tons of different settings you can put it on. It'll swivel if you really want it to swivel. Personally, I don't, but it's such a nice stream of cool air without blowing harsh air into your face. And it's also stupidly quiet. I feel like a lot of people like fans for that noise that you get, and you still get that noise, like you still hear it when it's on, but it is so much more subtle than the freaking wind tunnels I've been in before with a lot of the boxed fans that I've been using, or even just the fans that are standing fans. It's so much quieter, so much sleeker, and on top of that, the way that it cools you and cools your whole room without pushing all of that harsh air into your face is like my favorite thing on the planet. I absolutely have no regrets about this fan. Again, cost versus reward. I use it every night. I love that fan so much. Okay, now we're gonna move on to the worst things I bought this year. There actually were not a ton this year, and I was kind of proud of myself. This year has been a year of like, I made like bigger purchases, but I feel like as far as smaller impulse buys, I really have not been doing that as much this year. I just have different priorities of what I want. So there's actually not much on this list, but I will still tell you the few things that are. Number one, the Billie Eilish perfume. I fucking hated this perfume. This is interesting because I bought it immediately because I was like, I love Billie Eilish, number one. Number two, I looked at the notes of the perfume and it sounded wonderful. It sounded like warm and inviting and super nice. I was so excited for this. I got it. I sprayed it on myself once. I was repulsed by how it smelled. I thought it smelled so bad. And what's nuts about that is one of my good friends came over the day that I got it and she smelled it and she was like, this is the best thing I've ever smelled in my life. Like, I love this. It's so good. So I said, hey, happy birthday. It's not your birthday. You take it, because I literally don't ever want to smell that again. And honestly, she'll wear it and I don't even smell it. Like, I'm like, oh, you smell nice. But for some reason on me and the way it smelled on me and how my first reaction to it was, I just couldn't get over it. Like, I thought it was one of the worst purchases I had ever made. Kind of what I said earlier, I feel like perfume is so crazy and specific for all different types of people, and different people just love different scents. Like, there's no universal scent. I found out, I guess, through that perfume that I am not necessarily a warm scented person the way that I thought I was, because it had like hints of vanilla and like brown sugar. But to me, the vanilla just smelled so sour and like harsh that I just couldn't get past it. I also will say, and this is a little bit pettier, but it's true, in person, the design of that bottle is like kind of dumb. Like, it doesn't make a lot of sense, and it's also not very aesthetically pleasing. I don't really get Billie Eilish from the design of the bottle. It's like the chest cavity of a person, basically. It with like boobs and like a cut off head. It doesn't make a lot of sense to me. I feel like a celebrity who does fragrances really well is Ariana Grande. Number one, they all smell really good. They're also priced really well. But on top of that, the branding and the packaging is so on theme for who she is and the different eras that she's going through and the different albums. Whereas this one, it didn't make a lot of sense to me in terms of Billie. Not that I'm like the number one Billie Eilish fan, so maybe there's something I'm missing. I think she's great, but I'm not like, I'm not a stan. So maybe I'm missing something. But to me, it wasn't immediately recognizable in the branding, and also I thought it smelled terrible. So that was my worst perfume I bought this year. But my friend like loved it. She literally still wears it. She thinks it's great. She's obsessed with it. And I'm like, more power to ya. I personally hated it. I have a makeup product I want to talk about. This is the Charlotte Tilbury Beautiful Skin Sun-Kissed Glow Bronzer. This isn't a very dark shade, and I will explain myself. Number one, I bought this online. So I did buy a darker shade, but I bought this online and I didn't know it was gonna be this dark, number one. Number two, I was very tan this summer because I was out by the pool every day. So over the summer, I had to buy a couple of different products in darker shades than I normally would, just so I could like do my makeup, because all of my stuff was like how I am now, which is very pale. I was not very pale over the summer, so I needed new products. I know that like this is nowhere near my shade. It wasn't terrible over the summer for my shade. Like this particular shade kind of worked. It was still a little too dark. I think had I seen it in person, I probably would have gotten a different one. The color doesn't matter though. It wasn't the color that was the reason I didn't like this. It was the formula. The idea for this is that it's kind of like a balm, which I have used plenty of bronzing balm in my day. I have a lot of favorite bronzers that are actually in balm texture. So I was definitely expecting that similar texture from this. No, this is like chalky, but also balmy. It diffuses super patchy. That's a good word for it, I guess, would be patchy. It's a very, very patchy formula for me personally, especially. It gets weirdly patchy in some places and then you blend it out, and in other places it like blends out into nothing. So it like picks and chooses where it's going to stick on your skin. I feel like Charlotte Tilbury in general, and I've said this before about the products, I feel like they are very hit or miss. Some products from them I'm in love with. Like the Hollywood Flawless Filter, I love that product. I think it's so good. I use it all the time. And then I'll try other products like this one that are just complete and utter misses. Like when they fail, it is a spectacular fail. It's not just like, oh, it's kind of bad. It's like, oh, it's super patchy, super streaky, and also just a weird ass texture for a balm bronzer. Like it's a weird hybrid between a cream and a powder. And as a result of that, you get number one, this weird texture, but also that streakiness and that patchiness that just makes it so impossible to work with. And for how much money this costs, it should blend like a fucking dream. This should effortlessly blend into my skin, and it certainly does not do that. My biggest fail of the year. Like just absolutely the worst product I tried. The first time I used this because it looked that bad. It was so, I put on like one swipe up here on my forehead and a big chunk of it just stuck right here and wouldn't move. And then the rest like diffused from the chunk into nothing. I had like streaks of like what looked like dirt on my face. It was terrible. I hated this product. Okay, the next thing I'm gonna talk about, I'm gonna expose myself a little. Well, I'm not really exposing myself, I guess. This isn't like, I'm not exposing myself. I talked about on my Instagram, RIP to my Instagram. By the way, I didn't delete my Instagram. A lot of people think I deleted my Instagram. I haven't talked about it at all because I don't care. I got banned permanently because I posted a photo in a bathing suit. It was like a flesh colored bathing suit. I was fully clothed. It was actually like a body confidence post. I was like, hey, like, I don't love these pictures, but I still look great, and like, I had so much fun in these photos, and like, enjoy your life. And it was like a tan bikini, and I guess people thought I was naked. So I don't think people actually thought that. I think people are just dicks. So a bunch of people reported it, and then I literally sent Instagram like, and then my account got banned. I sent them like 50 messages trying to get it reinstated, and they just were like, no, you're permanently banned. So that's why I don't have an Instagram anymore. I just never made a new one either because I was like, fuck it. So yeah. That's where my Instagram went. I did not delete it. I literally got completely kicked off. Anyway, fuck Instagram. That was so stupid. You have people posting their literal penises on that app, but I post a picture in a nude bikini and I get banned. Okay. Anyway, I posted this when I bought it. This was a birthday gift to myself this past year. I have very mixed emotions about this. Normally, I don't like to talk about just like luxury shit that I buy. I have like a couple luxury bags and I really love them. I use them a lot. This was the first one that I bought that was like not practical. Like it wasn't one, like I bought this knowing I wasn't going to use it a lot. A lot of the ones that I do have, they're ones that I want to use all the time, and that's how I justify it, is like, well, I'm going to use this like every day as an everyday bag, or this is going to be my go-to backpack. But this one I bought knowing I wasn't probably going to use it that much. This is the Prada Crystal something, I don't know. It's a beautiful bag. It's fucking gorgeous. Like, it's absolutely stunning. I do love this bag. In theory, I love this bag. In theory, this is my favorite thing I own because it's beautiful. Like, it's stunning. It's so gorgeous. It does have a little strap so you can wear it crossbody. I pretty much immediately regretted this one only because of the price point. I really got hyped into my birthday and I was like, I should get something nice for myself for my birthday, and then I did. Okay, here's the thing. I do love this bag. The couple of times I have worn it, I've gotten a ton of compliments. People really love this bag. There's a few problems with it. Number one, not a lot fits in this bag. It's pretty small and also awkwardly shaped. I can basically fit like my phone, a card holder, and some lip gloss in here, and that will be comfortable. But because it doesn't have a clasp to close it at the top, I always feel really weird putting stuff in here because I feel like people could just reach in and take it out very easily. Number two, I am so paranoid about one of these crystals falling off of this bag. I think I would actually be devastated if I ever lost a crystal. To her credit, I haven't lost one yet, and I've had it for almost a year at this point, and I've used it maybe 15 times. But that gets me into my next point, which is that I do not use this enough to justify this purchase. That's just the truth of the matter, is like, as much as I love this bag, and I think it's so pretty and so chic, it's very me, it's like a glitter bomb, I don't use it enough to justify the money that I spent on this bag. Like, I just don't. I think for some people, especially with luxury stuff, it's like, it's not necessarily about usage, but I feel like for me, I have a very sort of like utilitarian mindset towards luxury, where it's like, I don't mind buying myself stuff like that occasionally. I want it to be worthwhile for the money that I'm using, like for the money that I'm spending. Like the Dyson fan I bought that I love, it was expensive, but I use that every single day. Same thing with like my comforter. Or like the pool floaties. Spent a little bit more on pool floaties than I normally would have, but I used those every day in the summer and I got my money's worth out of them. I think with a bag like this, it just doesn't feel like I will quite literally ever get my money's worth out of it. And I think that's made me start to reevaluate a lot of stuff that I buy. Not even just stuff like this, like designer stuff, but just like stuff in general. But I feel like for me personally, I'm really focusing on getting something out of the money I put into things. And this is not a bag that I feel I will ever get my money's worth on, simply because I don't go anywhere that would warrant a sparkly crystal Prada bag. That just isn't a thing for my life. I'm not like going to galas or like anywhere fancy. I'm just existing. So anyway, that's that. All right, friends, that's gonna be it for me. Sorry, I know I don't have a lot of worsts this year. I just like I feel like I didn't buy a lot this year. And also what I did, I liked. Maybe that's good. I feel like normally I have way more to complain about with my spending habits. This year I was like, yeah, there's just a couple things that it's like, it's not even that they're terrible, I just kind of regret them. Anyway, I hope you guys liked this video. I hope it was fun for you to watch. I love you guys so much. If you like this video, please like and subscribe, or just subscribe, or do neither. Honestly, just so happy you're watching me. Thank you so much for being here. My social media and also my social justice spotlight will be linked down below if you want to go check those out. I love you guys so much, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!